Welcome to the Augmentation of Man with Kent and Renee Miller, where we are giving the future.
Today we're going to discuss maybe something a little different. We're going to talk about resistance that not all will release.
And we had started to put together this PowerPoint
some time ago.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks and we were halted. We've since gotten some new information on it, and I was communicating with a friend, watched her video, and part of it was, how do we assimilate this vibration coming in? And I thought, well, that would be a good video.
That was her question that she put out there.
But then we had already started it. So we kind of forgot that we had even had this already in the plans. And a lot of time has lapsed since we made that outline. So here we are, full circle, back again. And if you are new to our channel, Kent is able to, through meditation, through deep meditation or a trance state, able to hear communication from spiritual guides and see visions. And we bring that information forward to the public so that people are aware of what's going on at this time behind the curtains. So here we go. I'm going to share our screen. So resistance, not all will release. That's the beginning.
And so with this resistance comes much deception. And people can't see the deception. They just cannot see it, because truth is trying to come forward. And we've been saying this for some very long time. That when truth is trying to come forward and people resist it, then they're not going to understand, they're not going to learn, and they tend to accept the deception. So,
the other thing is when we are in resistance, then
that's the question.
With this new vibration that's coming in, that is transforming our paradigm, and is transforming our own vibration. When we're in resistance mode, we cannot accept this. It's not allowing us to shift when we are in resistance mode. So what makes up resistance within?
Well, not only that stuff, but we tend to think, okay, I'm going to listen to XYZ, whatever that person's name is or whatever. And that person is also searching for truth, but you may not know this, that they give their interpretation of where they might seek this, but you have to go within. And that's very difficult, because the resistance is so prevalent in everyone. They have a very difficult time going within to open up the self.
So resistance comes from our trained thinking pattern.
Yeah, we've been put in this pattern for so many thousands of years.
And the way we perceive our world, it's not aligned to the truth, but it's also a resistance to the changes. It's a resistance to looking at things a new way. But I would have to say, even watching the news all day long with the hyperbole puts you into a state of anxiety that is also creating resistance within. So really where we need to go is we need to be able to move into a state of calm and peace within in order to accept this new vibration.
Like when you go into, I'm saying like the seashore, and you sit on a rock and listen to the ocean, or go into the forest, not with all those people around, and you get in touch with yourself, who you are. Then you're lowering your resistance and listening to what truth may come then.
Mhm. Yes. So with this new vibration that's coming in, it will enable us also to have this communicative energy enter our bodies for the chakras to be able to decipher it, that gut feeling, the emotional feeling, the language of the throat, the third eye visions.
The thing is, you have to get out of the city, sit in your own vineyard if you got one, or your own little quiet space outside. You got to get out of the city. The city creates resistance and deception.
Mhm. So there's many things that create the resistance, and then that enables that deception to continue because we can't see what the truth is.
Right.
And so they're telling us that there's much deception that is going to be coming our way.
It's already here.
And yeah, it's already here, but it's going to continue. It's perhaps going to amp up, maybe is what they're saying, and to not be alarmed by it. So they're telling us, do not listen to others during this time period, antificate the truth. And when we break down the word antificate, which is a word that they use this, this very fluid way of communicating by taking our Greek and Latin root words and combining them to make a new word that fits exactly what they're trying to communicate. So ENT means within, FIC, FIC means making, and that's the ability to go within to find the truth. So we need to exercise that and listen to the inner voice that will be communicating to us either from our higher self or spiritual guidance what the real truth might be.
Yeah, and these words that they give me are words I'm not familiar with. But shifting humanity, or trying to shift all of humanity, or those that are awakening to a higher vibration.
Mhm.
We've already discussed this in previous videos, but they use the word afortitious.
Afortatious.
Fortatious, not fortitious. Afortatious is the coming of the new wave, a reset.
So this afortatious, they gave us the definition, which the definition itself, I had to decipher. So a little bit tricky. The definition they gave us was encumbrance of the parameter to be set forth. And when I deciphered the word encumbrance, it means it's coming in a wave. So this is a vibration, a vibrational energy that's coming forth, and it's a new wave that is going to be creating a reset for humanity. And that reset is to a higher vibration. So if we back up a little bit, one vibration can imbue its qualities and characteristics on another vibration. So if it has a stronger vibration, then it can imbue or cast its qualities onto other surrounding vibration.
And so we have to release
Mhm.
our resistance. We've been in resistance mode for hundreds or thousands of years. And releasing yourself through the Creator's numerances.
Mhm. And I have this in parentheses. These are actual verbatim, the way that the message came across. So if you see it in parentheses, it has not been changed. So what this is saying, when we look up the word numerances, a definition for numerances to be able to understand the numerical techniques of mathematics. Mathematics and vibration go hand in hand because you can take a vibrational wavelength and you can map it on graphing paper, assign it each spot a numerical value, your X and Y variances or your axis.
Yeah.
And then you can make mathematical equations out of it. So mathematics is the messenger or the language of God. Okay, God uses mathematics to be able to create the vibration that creates the change.
Yeah, no, we use the word God because most of you, when we use the word creator, you really don't understand full parameters of what the creator is. But you understand the word God. So that's why they use this. The human race is so, if I were to say kindergarten through sixth grade, and I would say the human race is in kindergarten, maybe you would understand.
In relationship to
the
the rest
simplicity.
of the universe.
Right.
And
the
other beings.
simplicity that has to be brought down so that humans understand what they're trying to tell us. They have, their plans are good for the human race. Not all of the human race, but the majority of the human race, their plans are good to bring them up to a higher level.
Mhm.
But this takes time, and it takes us not resisting them bringing us to a higher level.
Mhm. And you said not all the human race, but I would have to say that those who are obstructing the transformation will be dealt with.
Yeah.
And so
don't worry
there
about
is resistance that's being created. There's roadblocks being created to this transformation, which is a positive transformation. And those entities that are creating the resistance to this change because they want to continue to rule and have the power and control over other human beings, they will be dealt with. So not to worry.
Yeah, not to worry. They will be dealt with.
So God releases the energy, the vibration, knowing how that vibration can be used to shift other vibration. And this is all done with mathematics. And the mathematics is the code for that vibration.
Right.
But what they're telling us is that as we release ourselves through this numerance, shifting our vibration, that not all people will be able to do this.
Not all want to do it.
And not all are at a stage of their own development where they will be able to do it.
Yeah. So it is so important to get truth and understanding, to open up this resistance and allow the vibration to come in to increase your ability to understand everything is to begin to understand everything that's going around you. We won't understand everything, but the beginning, in other words, how to put block A on top of block B and block A and B on top of block C, how to understand how to do this.
So continuing on with this message, many changes to stabilize humanity on most layers of vibration. And so our thoughts are vibration, all matter is vibration. Vibration is equivalent to an understanding. So everything is vibration. And we're living in this vibrational field, and the events that are being played out are vibrational events. So essentially, what we're doing here is learning by observing the characteristics and behavior of vibration.
Yeah, and you want to know the truth, and you want to understand. You're looking for understanding. You're looking for somebody to tell you the truth. And the new understanding that wants to come in, you have to lower your resistance. Your parameters around the resistance level has to be completely lowered. And then you will start, it will start to seep in. Small at a time, but it will start to seep in the truth and understanding.
And the vibrational attunement to a higher vibration, which is where we're going. And part of that is our physical vibration, shifting our body, allowing the DNA that already exists that has not been turned on to be able to be turned on.
Right.
And to enable that, our diets are very important. So it's good to eat healthfully, but we've also been told years ago to eat spinach and asparagus, which contain these micronutrients, which will also help assist us in this physical change.
So with the price of meat going skyrocket today, maybe we're not vegetarians, but we're slowly being pushed towards being somewhat more vegetarian than we are because of the price of meat.
Yeah, and perhaps we'll all move in that direction. So how do we lower our resistance? Bring the calm within, turn off those things on TV that agitate us, look to the future and where we're headed instead of getting so aggravated with the events that are happening today.
Because you cannot control the events around you.
Mhm.
Those that are trying to control are very high on the elite ladder. You cannot change what they want to try to control.
But
You-
eventually, these vibrational changes that are coming, they're
No,
originating
yeah.
with God, the creator, and this is what's going to change our
You
paradigm.
can resist some of the changes that these humans want you to make.
Mhm.
You can resist there, but you won't, but you gotta let down the resistance of the vibration that's coming in.
And that'll allow us to
Yeah.
shift. So
Working with
working
those that
with
are.
those that are, now we need to explain and give a definition of those that are. And at the bottom in white, we have that. So those that are those, they're spirit, mostly spiritual beings, but
Well,
they
they-
could be physical,
Yeah,
but
they
high
could be-
functioning
well, it could be
physical,
outside,
outside entities.
outside entities of this particular solar system. But we are part of the universal consciousness
Mhm.
network. So they are outside our solar system probably.
Or at least originate outside,
Yeah,
because there's many entities from outside
Right.
that are here on Earth.
So why they unified as one? They, like we had spoken some videos ago, Earth is a lab. And they planted many of these different species here on Earth to see how it can work together.
And how a young culture can evolve, but this has been sped up. This whole process has been sped up, and so these outside entities are, they're observing us from outside to see how we are evolving at an artificially accelerated
Yeah, 'cause
pace.
universal laws and concepts comes all into play in this, and we don't understand the universal laws and concepts yet.
Mhm.
But they have to follow the universal laws and concepts.
And we're going to be
promoting-
learning them in
Right,
this
and we're
next
promoting
cycle.
truth and understanding.
So those that are those who play a part in the universal consciousness network, unified as one, working within universal laws and concepts in the promotion of truth and understanding. And they're the teachers of the universe. So the message continues, aforementioned is the sound of the new vibration, an appealing sound to all that exists. And we're not quite sure what that means, but it must be enticing to us. And I don't know if it's the voice that you, for example, that you hear when you're meditating.
Yes, I don't know, because
We will come to understand this,
yes,
though.
we will.
And preparation for the unknown, a unanimous or one loving project of cooperation between those that are and the human race or species.
That's an unusual word, unanimous.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be, this next cycle that we're entering is going to be a partnership with those from outside in a teacher-student relationship.
We are
where
the students.
we become the
We're
students.
not the teachers.
And we're going to be taught from those outside of our Earth sphere. So this next cycle is going to be all about natural laws.
Yeah, and we're trying, it's going to be brand new for us, because it's going to be a whole new cycle in all natural laws. We got a lot to learn. There's
There's
that are seeking
millions
truth.
upon millions
Yeah,
of
those
laws.
that are seeking truth will begin to understand natural law 1, natural law 2, natural law 3 won't all come at once.
Mhm. So they're telling us, increase your knowledge of the natural. Time is of the essence. Forbearance of natural law. And forbearance means to be patient endurance. In other words, to take our time and really learn
Yeah,
about these natural laws. And we can start by turning away from the chemical world, plastics and things like that, and start returning to nature and the natural way of being in balance with nature,
it's not
instead
really-
of using these unnatural ways
yeah,
of
we can be in
controlling.
balance with nature and still go ahead with the AI programs that are given to us,
Mhm.
the information. But we have to learn how to live with nature itself, with one another. And that's the biggest thing, how to live with one another, not to overpower the species with one another,
Mhm.
but how to live with one another.
And that includes animals, insects,
Well,
and the
I don't
like,
know if they are.
and people, because we have to learn how
Well,
to,
first of all, we gotta learn how to get along with each other.
right?
Before we learn how to get along with a mosquito. But we as a species have to learn how to get along with each other. We are all close to the same species here in the human race. We're very close to the same species. There may be some differences, I don't know, because there may be some outside that are here, that are among
Okay, I
us.
see what you mean.
So
Yeah.
we have, they're watching us. And you think, oh, they're not, they are watching us.
Mhm. They have for thousands
Yeah,
of years.
yeah. So you have to understand getting along with others and the importance of this to come into play in the universal understanding of oneness.
So they're telling us to open your vibration to understanding the new parameter, and they will be explaining that to us in time. So we have been trained to make assumptions.
Yeah, and you know that thing about the assumptions, when you break that word assumption down, what it supposedly means, and we've been doing this for thousands of years, assuming something and never understanding why it is and what it will be.
Or even if it is the truth. And so this is bred a great amount of misperceptions and
And
fallacies
distrust.
and distrust within our lives. So now we're at this point where there's such a misrepresentation of so many truths that our guides have said we really don't know what the truth is anymore.
No.
So this is all going to be reset in time. And just suffice it to say that that information will be coming forward a little at a time. We have to have a correction though, and that's taking place now.
Humankind has to have a correction, has to become one with each other, because we cannot understand natural law unless we get along with the other entities that are here. We'll never
Mhm.
accept natural law. We'll resist.
And part of that too, I had asked years ago, why are there different races of human beings? And the answer was, you have to come to a point where you have acceptance of each other before you can have acceptance of others outside of the earth. And that we hadn't really done a very good job at this. So I think that there's a culmination at this time accentuating the fact that we have these biases and conflict within the races. And the object is to move through this period of time and come to acceptance of other people that may have different color skin than we
Well, not
do.
only that, but human race is millions upon millions in their concept. The ones that are controlling the human race is maybe 2,000 or 3,000 at the most. We as humans, the majority of humans, have to come together and say, okay, no more. We are ready to learn about the natural laws and not let these few thousand control us. We want to open and learn the truth.
So we have to move through these difficult times,
Yes.
unite, and not let others disrupt
Dictate,
our
yeah.
and dictate our thinking. Pull back and disempower those that are trying to control us by not being controlled by them, and then focus on what is important, which is now moving into a higher level of conceptual learning. So meaning that we're able to see a bigger picture by connecting the dots.
Yeah, and as this happens, you'll see more and more people, humans, coming into the same play. They'll say, yeah, I want to be part of this. I want to be part of this truth-seeking movement that's happening, and it will grow exponentially.
It also moves us away from all this negativity into the positive, and the positive is always about the learning.
Yeah.
So the last part of this message is understand this: a presumptive nature does not exist in this realm. All is in accordance with what is. So presumptive is to presume or assume something is true when it may not necessarily be. So they're telling us that as we move into this next cycle, that we are not going to be assuming anymore. We need to make sure that we understand what the truth is, and the truth is aligned with what is. And so what is unchanging, and it is the truth.
Well, what they do, they pepper a little truth in with deception. So it makes deception sound true. And we have to decipher, okay, this is deception, this is not truth. So when they pepper in a little bit of truth, make it sound like truth, be aware.
And then finally, they say, soak in the natural laws. So
that's how we learn.
That is how we are going to immerse ourselves in the
Yeah.
natural laws to learn about
Are we
them.
too old to do this? No. Are we too young? No.
But it's time.
It's time.
And this is the new cycle. This new vibration is coming in. It's important to be in a state of calm, to be peaceful within, to not be in conflict with yourself, to not allow things external to yourself to aggravate and irritate you and to cause anxiety. Just let that vibration come in and transform you.
Start your life new. Don't live in the past. Don't live on what happened to you years ago or whatever. Don't live in the past. Open your life now. Drop the resistance and start anew. Say, I'm going to get rid of all that past. Think about it. Move it. Don't let it dictate your life. You have to live the now in order to learn.
Now, I wanted to update you on my sister Judy, who is, if you haven't seen our last video, is needing a heart transplant. She is still in the process of trying to get disability. Evidently, it takes several months to be able to apply and be accepted and actually start receiving checks. So she's still in quite a need because she's not able to work. She has continuous IV medication going to help her heart contract stronger. And she is needing to eventually move to another state to have her heart transplant done. So I want to thank all our viewers and supporters for contributing to helping Judy out through her GoFundMe account. And for those who want to contribute, who haven't done so already, I'm going to put that link down below, and it is very much appreciated. She is only 55, and so her ability to be able to have a heart transplant will extend her life. And on behalf of myself and our family, we thank you very much for your assistance.
Thank you for listening to our hearts pounding. We hope that you take some of the things to heart that we try to put out here. Things are changing very rapidly, and we cannot give you a date when things will totally change. It's going to be soon, but we cannot give you a date or a confirmation of this and this date will happen and everything will change. No. We are told these things are coming very soon, and that look within yourself and look at the native people, the true native people, and learn from them in their ways, because they will guide that the Aborigines around the world, the native people in the different countries, they have something to teach that we must begin to learn.
So thank you for joining us. And as always, peace be with you on your journey to enlightenment. Have a great day. Bye-bye.